And welcome back, Star Wars players. Garrett Larson here, joined by Barry Alperstein. For the top 4 U.S. Nationals match, we've got Brian Fred on First Order Reigns versus Hayes Hunter on Rescue the Princess. Brian, as the higher seed, must have picked the First Order, picked to play Darkside first. They didn't necessarily know what the other person was playing, although I have a sneaking suspicion they probably both had heard. This should be an interesting match. I know. So Brian's starting the Shuttle Grabber, and Hayes is starting Walkling, a Good Blaster, and Cell 2187. So I know, like my team, when we were playtesting this, we decided that Rescue was basically an auto loss for First Order. Like if they get Blaster pings going and they get Menace Fades going, you're in trouble. However, like I played it yesterday, I played against Keith Brown, and I didn't have Decree Virtual in at all, and I lost the game by 10 or 15 force, but like Keith and I talked about after and said with Decree Virtual, you win the game because you put Hosen Prime in the deck. Even though it's a hyperspeed 4, it's 4 parsecs away from Dakar. All of your ships but the Supremacy have hyperspeed 4 with the Navy effect. So you move there and you just go, all right, well, I'm going to shut down Menace Fades. You can't battle me in space with any amount of efficiency. And especially Rescue is likely running minimal to 0 space. And any space they're running is going to be R2 and Red 5, which takes Luke and his gun off the blaster ping anyways.
Right. Yeah.
So you're kind of okay with that. And then, but if you get Menace Fades, and if you shut down Menace Fades and you shut the pings down to 1 and 1 instead of like 3 and 1, like Keith and I talked about it, say I would have had one more turn and that would have been absolutely the difference because I was draining for 10 a turn.
That's a lot.
And at that point he can't drain, and it's all just drain because Hosen Prime's a drain of 2, Steadfast makes one of the systems a drain of 2 even without putting guys on it.
Right.
And then you put 2 guys at the third system, so it's a drain of 2 with your objective. 2 guys at the Salt Flats is a drain of 2. I was running both Supremacy sites, so 2 guys at the Supremacy, the Snoke site. It's like, all right, I'll pay 5 to drain you for 10. It looks like there might have been some potential issues with the sleeves. I know Brian's using the Players Committee Dragon Shields, the art sleeves, and anytime you're using art sleeves with a lot of art, there's a potential something's going to get marked. This could also be a spot of gamesmanship from Hayes. Like, I like Hunter a lot. I like Hayes. Hayes will take these edges if he can, and it wouldn't shock me at all if he says, hey, I want to try and, if I can have him re-sleeve. But yeah, I think Barry's going to go check it out and find out for sure what exactly is going on. Because, it looked like everything was kind of pulled out, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, maybe we're not. And we do have active judging this game. Robbie Hendon is the active judge there, so he said if anything goes wrong, we're all supposed to yell at him. So
it was exactly the sleeve issue there. Like they're just going through, making sure that the sleeves are all
all
even.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense, and that's.
So I think a big reason Hayes was playing the Rescue the Princess today was actually literally for this matchup. Their testing showed that it just put on too much pressure too fast. So
and I agree.
We'll see how it goes.
So it does, however, interestingly, because it gives up a couple force, if Brian finds the Supremacy or Lieutenant Dolphy and a ship and the shuttle, he can flip the fleet on turn 1. Because if you can, you basically need to open hand either the shuttle or Supremacy, because the Supremacy comes down for 6, and then you can drop the shuttle for 3, and Dolphy will pull one or the other if you get him in hand. And then Supremacy moves to the tracked fleet for free to Dakar. So you go, I have ships at both systems, I've moved to the fleet, good luck. And like Hayes would have to have space in hand and risk a potential barrier, because when you move to Dakar you get to then activate 2 force. So like you have to worry if he says, well, I'm going to go try and jump, the shuttle with Dolphy, because obviously if you have to use Dolphy to pull it, you're putting them at the same system, you're going to end up doing, all right, well, I'll have Dolphy on one ship and the Supremacy, so I at least get a battle destiny at both. So like the only space Hayes is potentially going to run, and in this case I did his deck check, so I do know he has one R2 and Red 5 in there.
Right.
So he could go, pull with Slight Weapons Malfunction, because he's running I think 5 of them, get Luke, drop Luke with the Slight Weapons Malfunction, drop Luke, R2 and Red 5, battle, add a destiny to attrition, and try and wipe you out. But if he runs into a barrier,
it seems unlikely.
It'd be rough.
Probably just in there to like keep someone honest when they see it.
Yeah. And I do agree. I think it would be, he'd have to open hand the R2 and Red 5, and that'd be real slim chances. Like, it's a much better chance Brian can go for the first turn flip, but he may end up just taking it slightly slower. They do not know the deck list. I don't think Hayes is actually at the table right now.
No, he's behind us.
And Brian was, I don't think, fully revealing the cards that were being re-sleeved. Our itinerant tournament directors.
Hayes is over here. He's not at the table.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Hayes is not intentionally not watching.
Yeah, which is good for him.
Everything's above board. And
yeah.
Hayes wasn't upset about the sleeving issue at all. He just wanted to make sure that both players are making sure that everything's cool.
Yeah, no, I'm.
But I know this is riveting television.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we didn't think there was any. I don't think Hayes is upset about anything. I think, in the grand scheme of things, all of us get to spend a weekend playing cards with our friends. Like, no one's going to be real upset. But yeah, it looks like they may just be doing a full re-sleeve. Either a full re-sleeve of everything, or like doing a real close check of what's.
It looks like he's just pulling every card.
It could very well be, and honestly, I'd say boys and girls, but let's be honest. Honestly, boys, this is why you double sleeve. Like, I've moved into that category fairly recently, and my wife is mocking me for it as she saw me doing it, and I'm like, it keeps the V-slips in place. And if you run into something like this, it's just, look, all my V-slips are in place. I can sleeve and unsleeve an entire deck in about 5 minutes or less, and that's the way to do it. So it's did see some interesting choices in what Ryan was unsleeving, though. Like a Sniper and Dark Strike is an interesting card choice. I think it's real good. Hasn't been in some of the versions I've seen played that kind of went space heavy.
What other weapons are they going to have outside of like Kylo's lightsaber?
Probably Kylo's lightsaber. I mean, there is theoretically a gun for the walkers.
Okay.
I know one of the Rosemont kids was playing it, but like, I don't know that I would have called that a good card necessarily. Like, sounds a little mean, but like, I don't know that I would have been super concerned about that. Beyond that, yeah, I don't know. You're not putting random guns on the troopers for any reason. I mean,
I guess the
one
troopers
trooper,
are EPPs. Right?
Yeah, the one EP. Well, not the generics.
Just one of them.
The nines.
Right.
Yeah, nines is got a weapon. You know what? Cardo's got a weapon too.
Okay.
One of the random Knights of Ren also has a weapon. So yeah, we've got.
Is that also one of the? I am overly not familiar with the new set, so.
So I played 4 games with First Order yesterday, and I played another half dozen or so online. So I would not consider myself an expert at all, but yeah, Cardo's one of the Knights of Ren, and he's got a arm cannon or something. And,
yeah.
Vicar doesn't have one, and Applet doesn't have one, and I think those are the 3 Knights of Ren that exist in the game right now, and I have no idea how many Knights of Ren exist in the actual anything, because no, just know these things. So it does look like while they're doing the resleeve, they're getting Brian's light side at the same time, which I think is solid. You know, he's got Robbie, the active judge, there, helping confirm that, yep, these are the ones that I'll check out. Because I know those were donation sleeves, was it a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
That you got, like you got a box of each, so you got like 100 of each sleeve, and I know Brian traded to get those pretty aggressively because I remember him asking me if I got any for the donation program, and at the time I didn't. If you haven't had a chance to watch the streams from yesterday, the new donation boxes look gorgeous. Like in person, they are the Anakin's lightsaber, that white box with that cold blue lightsaber. It looks
I'm looking forward to getting
amazing.
that box for sure.
And the Sabine, the hot pink box, I'm very happy. I just kept my donation going for the PC. I just do a monthly that clears out to slightly over $200 a year, so I get the $200 donation level, and yeah, that Sabine box is that's my color. That's my jam. I'm getting that one as soon as I can. So they are gorgeous. We were kind of chilling and just killing time a little bit because I don't really want to shut things down because I'm assuming they're going to get started as soon as they can. So Worlds is the next big tournament, right? We got that
Early October 3rd, I think.
3rd through 5th in Seattle at the Hampton by the airport. I think it's gonna be a great time.
I thought, was it at a different location?
I thought it was.
Don't want to give out bad information. We'll look it up.
I give him Seattle. Like, fly into Seattle and figure out your Uber from there. Like, don't blame me if you go to the wrong place. But I can get you to Seattle. That's as much as needs to happen.
It is at the Hampton Inn. You're correct.
Yeah, Hampton Inn, Seattle Airport. Like.
Yeah. For some reason, somebody told me it was not at the Hampton Inn.
So no, I knew it was the Hampton. I just didn't know if there was a different Hampton in there. I know there was talk about potential at a different location just for there was something else there, but the Hampton I know has been good for us in the past and worked with us on running events, so it should be. And the Seattle crew's awesome.
I've enjoyed that hotel the few times you're out there. It's walkable from the airport. Like, it just works out well.
Oh wow, close enough to walk from an airport?
Well, I mean, I think some people probably take a shuttle or get a ride, but I always walked it. So it was like maybe a mile and a half, something like that.
All right. Probably walkable, but I don't know if I'd walk it carrying a bag full of stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
you definitely want like a roller bag or something. So.
Yeah. That's okay. That's not bad. I mean, Washington was like that, but I don't think it was really walkable just for the route. Like I remember when we were in Washington.
You would want a metro, yeah.
I think I took the shuttle when we were in Washington because it's like a 3-minute shuttle ride or 5-minute shuttle ride, but it involves like 3 highway interchanges, and it's like I don't know how this guy got around, but I'm gonna smile and nod. So yeah, Brian's.
Are you surprised Brian is switched decks from yesterday?
Mildly, because I know he was real happy with his dark side. Like that dark side Senate put in a lot of work for him, and you know, Toonbuck is brutal and a little hard to deal with.
Yeah,
I know he seemed like he was a little less happy with the Senate, but he's apparently
with the light Senate.
As I see him unsleeving the light Senate, like
to sleeve up the.
Or is he sleeving? Oh, he switched to Mind What You Have Learned?
Yeah.
Okay, so he switched both decks. That's interesting. You know, the new objectives really putting in a showing here. So he made top 4 with Mind What You Have Learned in First Order. Chris made top 4 with Mind What You Have Learned in First Order. Hayes did it with
EOPS
and Rescue. What was the... Matt Scott was on First Order.
He's playing the same decks that Fred is playing.
Okay, I was going to say, so Matt was on. So we've got...
So you have 3 First Orders, 3 Mind What You Have Learned, and then Hayes.
That is an interesting interesting mix here. Let's move this bigger. I forgot to do that while I was working on other stuff. So, doesn't get bigger than that. So,
I mean, I lost to Brian twice yesterday, so I was kind of surprised he moved off the Senate decks. Like, I couldn't think of any like kind of direct hate for it.
yeah, I know Brian and I chatted about that quite a bit, and yeah, he was in the same boat. Like, there's not a ton of pure hate out there for Senate, and Senate is kind of a. The senators all have great text.
Yeah.
Like Darkside Senators, like there's I know because I brought the cards to build it as a deck I was contemplating, and I was pulling stuff to kind of put it together. I'm like, I skipped Axe Mo I'm like, he's just you're never gonna use his text. Like at that point, he's just an ambition, which is nice, but like you're already tight on cards.
I think yesterday Matt Scott beat Hayes with the Dark Senate by like on the last turn as it was going to time he retrieved 7 off of Squabble. So yeah, it was.
So maybe that was it. It was a. I mean, Senate does have the ability to just do that, and the tricks with the, always having cards to put down to get the extra activation. I know Brian and I talked about that quite a bit, and
At some point, any point that's convenient for you, can you grab me like a white chocolate macadamia bar from one of the two boxes of book bars up there? Just at some point, I realize that probably needs to be.
How much more time is Brian going to take?
I have no idea. I'm not over there paying attention.
I mean they're on the second deck, so it should be.
Should be relatively.
I would say you got a couple minutes tops.
I don't want to go up. I'm asking if
I know.
Point that's convenient for him.
If you want to roll, then I can start it now.
Oh yeah, you guys are streaming this and there's nothing happening, of course. I'm like, I don't want to interrupt them while they're streaming. I'm like, wait a second. Oh yeah, you.
All right. Well, Hayes came over to chat with us for a minute. Barry's gonna go run and get
I'll
him.
Sit down. Wait, can I not? Can you minimize the thing so I can't see and I can chat?
Nah.
Can we put a piece of paper up in front of it? Cardboard, right there. There's cardboard up there. Turn it the other way.
There we go. All right, so we're covering things up. Hayes is going to sit down and chat.
Hello.
For a minute with us. Congrats on top 4.
Thank you.
I'm happy I played whatever little part I did in that by being a sacrificial lamb for 2 games yesterday.
You definitely helped my strength and schedule very much. There were so many 5 and 3s.
I heard it went down to at least 17th.
It was insane.
Like,
and I was so thankful that the tiebreaker was the tallest and the shortest player advance. Like, I'm like, all right, I guess I'm good.
Yeah, Benji making it in there was awesome. Like, good for him, and he ran into kind of a buzzsaw in that first round. Chris.
Don't tell me anything about their game.
Yeah, Chris beat him soundly.
Okay.
They were.
And it was Watto against
First Order.
Okay. No, that doesn't make sense.
Or no, Watto against Mind What You've Learned, and First Order versus Luke Saga.
Okay. Yep.
And yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a buzzsaw. Chris is a really good player. Benji's a really good player, but
he's an incredible player.
Chris had a couple answers for some things, and it was
good. Sweet.
It was good. Good for him. It was a great, fun games to watch. I mean, it's and Benji's just so much fun.
Agree completely.
Like he's just excited to be here, excited to hang out, excited to have fun, and like.
Well, I think everybody knows the 2 best players in the world. Chu is one of them. Bastion's the other one. Like all time, whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, Chu is just a tremendous person, and he is a great parent. I've not spent much time with Leia, but like his boys are just such good sportsmen, and I mean, it gives me feels, right? Because I was a young kid playing this game when I started, so it's really great to see kids playing it and doing so well. They're just tremendous little people. Really.
No, they are awesome, and it's you cannot say enough good things about the entire Chu family. Like you said, I've not had a chance to meet Leia. I've chatted with Johnny and her a couple times online about things, but like they are just
so
the whole family. The boys are amazing, and Johnny's just such a great person. Like,
so I have a buddy outside of Albany, and he was at a farmer's market. He has a meadery, so he was just hawking his wares at this farmer's market, and this Asian woman walks up because she sees that he has Star Wars tattoos. And she goes, my son plays that game. My son plays that game. He's a world champion. And my friend is like, this is weird. He's like, do you know Hayes Hunter? And she's like, oh, yeah. She's like, but my son, he's won 3 times. It was so like small world, whatever. Yeah, I guess Chu's mom does flowers or something at the thing, but
and brags about her son. And,
of course,
that's awesome. Like, as a parent, being able to brag about your kids' accomplishments is
Chu has to be so happy right
awesome.
Now. So happy right
because
now.
it just means like you did a decent job. And yeah, like Chu, I think seeing Benji in top 8 meant far more to Johnny than Johnny making another top 8. Like Johnny had said flat out he was going to drop to try and play retro. Like,
oh, and I just have to. I was messaging with Sokol, and I didn't want to make Sokol tell me, but like Sokol and I have talked a lot about the Endor drop and drain. I'm sure everyone has seen it on GEMP. And so Chu was like, I asked Chu, and she was like, oh yeah, I've been really busy, so I just said, Benji, go collect the list so we can look at them or whatever. And he spotted it. He saw Barry's list, which is my list, which is the list that Eric designed. And I was very pleased that it was that version of the deck that made the top 8, not like the weird Admiral Order reacting trooper things. But
yeah, I played against the weird Admiral Order reacting trooper things. That Rebel Strike team was a solid meta choice.
Yeah.
Seeing as all 4 of my light side games I played against EOPS.
And you were activating approximately 20 billion force on turn 2 every game.
Only 17 against you because I couldn't find the back door.
Find the back door. I was choking you out.
Yeah, it was brutal.
That was the difference.
Looks like Brian might be about ready to rock. I'm just checking to see. Looks like we're just doing a final double check. So I'm blocking the screen so while Hayes is here talking with me,
he can't see our little screen with us. Oh, and you can see. Oh wait, is that? Oh, perfect. That's perfect height.
The cardboard is just marginally blocking the camera.
There we go. So, I can't see them, but I can see us.
Yeah, and we'll be ready to go here in a second. And this was just a fun. We didn't realize this was happening until we'd already started and got stuff going, and then I was like, oh well, now we're just gonna keep talking. And
yeah, and to be very clear, right? Like, I know Brian Fred for years. He's never the type of person that would do something malicious or cheat. Like, that's not the issue at all here. It's just like very evident that some of his sleeves are not the same as the others. And like again, I don't think he like pick them all out and put all of his 5s and 6s and 7s in those sleeves. It's just like we don't want to be playing the game where we draw a destiny and we see that it's a 7 and then it gets sitting on the use pile for the rest of the turn and we can't help but notice, and then say he activates all but 3 and does a shuffle, and now it's like, well, if we shuffle and that one card's on, like, we both know. So we're just, it's just integrity of the game thing. No malice at all. I love B-Fred, and I guess we're about to get going.
You didn't want to go with the Brian Hunter clear sleeves?
No, definitely not doing the Brian Hunter here.
For sure. Well, good luck in your games.
Thank you, sir.
And we will see you later. All right, I'm going to move my little piece of cardboard here. We got the okay from Robbie. Everything's been unsleeved. And yeah, so Barry just got back here, and Hayes was...
Nothing. He said nothing against me, but I am furious, people. I'm just joking.
And Brian is angry right now, but not really. I think Hayes phrased it perfectly. There was absolutely no question that Brian would be doing anything nefarious with the sleeves that were slightly differently shaded, but it was obvious enough to both players that you don't want it to show up, No, this is not open deck list. So the open deck list thing was simply something we tried with the Gem PC that we're going to be doing some amount of follow-up to find out from players how that was stuff. Hayes was not looking at the stream. Hayes did not step back where he could see the camera until I had already covered the screen. He was very intentional about that, and we both were like, yeah, don't even possibly look until this was done. You could see for a little while the edge of the cardboard that I was blocking, because the camera that's getting me and Barry is just the internal camera on the screen. So yeah, Hayes Exactly the way Hayes said he didn't believe Brian was trying to gain any advantage. Hayes was absolutely not coming in here to be like, oh, I'll chat with Garrett while I watch Brian unsleeve his deck. Like, that's... I believe Hayes is perfectly willing to participate in some amount of gamesmanship, but that would have absolutely crossed the line from gamesmanship to what I think all of us would reasonably consider cheating, and that is not something Hayes will participate in, I don't believe. Like, that's just... that would be a no-go, I think, for both of them. So, I know we talked about it like 20 minutes ago, and now everybody missed it, and hopefully they're all coming back in as this is all getting started. This will be a fairly non-interactive match, but it's going to be interesting. If Brian has the cards, and I feel like the Rescue the Princess was a strong meta call from Hayes, and we're seeing another sleeve getting pulled as Brian's just pile shuffling him out. I'll be interesting to see how it does, and if Brian put in, anything to go at it, and does he think he can get Decree fast enough? Like, Chris Kelly and I were chatting a little before the event about, like, do you include a single copy of Prepared Defenses for the rescue matchup, and you just swap for the third effect and go, here's one of my decrees, and probably go Decree Virtual just so you can get that going right away. And you give up the Jakku, the extra force from Jakku, so you can't do the take both systems in a perfect hand world. And it ends up with a 0 you can't pull floating in there, which feels real bad. But I've absolutely played games with this deck where, like, what I needed from my bow pull did not show up.
Not there.
And unless you're running effect pullers, which is, I mean, the deck is tight on cards, depending on the version you're playing. Like, maybe if he got away from the space weapons that I was running, and like Batmouse was running tractor beams, like that could open up a few slots to add in some effect pullers. And
is it not, or most versions not running the bridge?
I don't know. So we weren't in ours. So we were running 3 systems, the Salt Plains and the Supremacy Pulse Snoke site.
Okay.
Because not putting a second site at crate means you never have to worry about them trying to run away from it, so they have to either ignore crate or come down with so much that you can then just ignore it and go away. Like, you lose the secondary text, and I'm like, fine, I guess you can drain at crate.
Right.
But you have to put so many guys there because you have to worry about here's a couple walkers from Lost Pile, plus a pilot, and get ready.
Yeah.
Like, it's, the bridge and the pullers, like I said, ours was playing around with a couple laser cannon batteries and shut down the main reactor and gravity shadow and just stick you in place, and it was really more of a hard battle in space deck.
So like the bridge pullers and like the use pulls would definitely like just solve that problem, and then you wouldn't have to worry about the extra slot for Prepared Defenses.
Yeah, and that would be a solid options. And it looks like apparently there was one
Joel
more sleeve. Yeah, Joe got to lean down and kind of look at something. I think Brian's back there. Did they solve this all finally? We will
sitting down and shuffling.
We'll find out. Brian is there, so
I'm good, thanks.
All right. So
do you want to advertise for the PC there?
No, we do enough PC advertising, and I'm not gonna. Yeah, Brian needs Decree fast, and that's going to be this game. I played this matchup against Keith Brown yesterday, and I did not have Decree in my deck. We had talked about well, this is maybe just a dead loss to RTP and move on. And after playing it, if I had Decree early, I win the game.
Okay.
It's because it's hard for Rescue to come interact with you at all in space.
Right.
So you just get Hosen Prime, get the Steadfast. You're draining for 6 in space before they set up Menace Phase. Like you drop Menace Phase and you just, all right, I'm going to drain for 6 in space. 2 at each of the sites because they don't really come interact with you either. And then it's just a race. And if they slow down the race to potentially come interact with you, you're kind of okay with that. If you want to not put Luke down because you're going to save to go after me on crate, that's damage I don't take. So we saw Brian use blast points to grab Gick, and Hayes grabbed TK with
Slight
weapons. Looks like he's got a couple other characters in, and there Brian grabs the finalizer. Okay, Brian's a heavy ground base, the unsalvageable and trooper assaults, so Brian's deck is definitely very different from the space heavy variant we played and had considered, and that's awesome. I know people are a little concerned about the power of First Order right now. I'm seeing it online a little bit. People are like, did this come out too strong? But I think seeing multiple variants that you can go with is cool. So there's the Jakku system.
So if Brian's deck is card for card the same as Matt Scott's, then he's also going to have a First Strike, which will be big for Hayes to watch out for.
Yep, and I would expect he has First Strike. I know we hemmed and hawed about that, but kept it in for the same because between First Strike and Snoke, you can start just causing a bunch of serious pings. Even if you... I know yesterday against David Woods, I dropped into a couple battles. I was like, I'm going to lose this battle, but not by enough to overflow me significantly, and it's more important for me to force you to lose 2 more cards. I had a little bit of... I dropped a Lone Trooper against Chirrut just for the double ping, and okay, I guess I'll lose 2 as well, but I was okay with you losing 2.
What was David playing for light yesterday?
He was on No Idea.
Okay.
So, and No Idea, I think, is a struggle into First Order because it wants to be balanced, and you have to worry about the space power. I got him with a Gravity Shadow and then shut down the Taniv's reactor and emptied a system, and then it was just mop up chasing the Falcon, and then hit the Falcon with a shut down the main reactor, and that ended it.
Yeah.
So Brian throws down the Supremacy, moves it over to Dakar, activates a couple, and saves a couple. This is pretty standard turn 1. This is how this match is going to go. Hayes, I gotta imagine Hayes is just going to go, here's TK, go get a gun. Get the site right away and probably try and get 3PO, and yep, this is the match. It's a race. So, and now if you're Hayes, do you move the fleet or do you just not bother?
I probably wouldn't bother. You're losing a force to slow the game down a turn.
Yeah, I mean the difference in...
Sorry.
So if you stack 1 on the fleet, it caps Brian's drain at 1 there. If you don't stack 1 on the fleet goes out of play and Brian drains for 2. So you're netting out the exact same number of cards lost. And Brian has the finalizer. The reality is Brian's going to want to play the finalizer anyways. So you lose 1 to move it. Brian just plays the finalizer at Dakar and moves over. Or if you move it, or he drops to whatever system you didn't play it at, moves to Dakar to activate the 2, and then uses the Supremacy to move for free to follow tracked fleet. So either way, you're losing 2 and not really changing Brian's game at all. So there's the release. Brian's got secret plans out, and yeah, Hayes pulled all the stuff he was going to pull and just stacked it on top of his deck and said, I'm taking all these, and showed us how. And that's the biggest difference in oh, you're right. Yeah, Pat's pointing out that the supremacy makes it a drain of 1 either way. So I was thinking it's finalizer for whatever reason. That's on me. So yeah, it would be, then there's even less reason to put the fleet out of play. So, and I think the same way Brian, I don't think needs to stack anything on power loss. I don't think it really helps them. So, oh, he is going to stack 2 on, so he is stacking 2 on power loss. Okay. And Hayes allowing him to do that because I think there's a timing issue there where he might have been able to, Hayes could have potentially said, nope, you didn't get it done. But Hayes is not the kind of guy who wants to win that way, I don't believe. So we see Hayes do the 3PO, put a card to use to activate. I'm actually a little surprised Hayes did not start Menace Fades over Walkling. Like, you're not using Walkling to pull anything in this matchup, and
he's going to be paying the drain the whole game.
Yeah.
Like getting the force early.
But you activate a decent amount. Like, it's... I think there's an argument either way. I don't think it's necessarily a wrong choice. I think it's that there's definitely a choice he has to make there. I think Brian's figuring out, can he go at him right now with the trooper assaults and stuff. Like, Brian's playing a ground beat stack, which is super interesting. Like, I'm curious to see how this goes and see if he throws a second pilot on with there. So there's a force push, looks like we're going to see. And what is he going to grab? Looks like Snoke. Is that... Yeah, I think that was...
I didn't see it.
I think it was Snoke. Like, I think it was Snoke or it was Phasma. It was shiny and weirdly bald-headed. So it's either
I imagine it's hard on stream to tell most of what Brian's cards are with all the writing on top of them.
Yeah, Brian doesn't make our life easier, but, at the same time, signed cards are fun. I can't fault Brian for wanting to do that. I don't think that's Snoke, because it's the top card. I think it might be a really weird play to force push for PV. So there he's searching for a battleground. Oh, he had a couple in there. He doesn't need to take the... Oh, Pat saying he thinks he put it at the back, so we might not have seen it. That's also possible. Oh, so he already had view, so he put it at the back, so we weren't sure. Okay. I'll be honest, you guys who are watching this at home likely have a bigger screen you're watching it on than we do. We're watching it on a massively oversized laptop screen, but it's still a laptop screen. So I've said before, I love when people in chat are paying enough attention to keep us honest and going on, and skill issue. Thanks, Ming. I'm feeling loved right now. Thanks. All right, so there's Snoke. Yeah, see, I think it was Snoke that he grabbed. And he goes with the battle pull for Snoke. Yeah, I can't imagine trying to watch it on the phone. I've definitely had my phone on and streamed to listen to them occasionally, especially while driving. But I've not tried to watch a stream game on phone. I don't dislike my eyesight that much. So, all right, that Snoke's an interesting choice. So, I think it's just to create the ping. Like, so Brian puts Snoke and Phasma at the planes. I feel like, TK transfers Trooper Assault, doesn't he? I'm like 90% sure. I'm wondering if Brian remembers that.
You got it.
TK422 virtual cancels Trooper Assault here, so he can't go after that. Cheap pop to Lee Edwards, who built the Holocron app for iPhones, because I'm old and use an Apple phone. It is awesome, and thank you so much for it. One of those things that just makes the game and the information more accessible for some of us. It is awesome. Thank you very, very much for doing that. And is Brian going to put someone else on the Supremacy to get the +1 to the drain up in space? So, or is he going to try and...
I almost feel like he needs to put more characters down at the site.
So,
otherwise, if Hayes has like Luke or something, you could just start running Luke into the site.
I mean, he can, but like he's got basically Luke, Rey, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan are all that's really left for him to go at that site on the ground. I think maybe one Corrin or a Scoundrel Lando. Like, there's a couple other cards, but I'm wondering if Brian's maybe trying to bait him into that. Like, he doesn't have Kylo down there. Yeah, there's a couple more. That's, like I said, I did Hayes' deck check, so I did see the deck.
I'm rooming with Hayes, so I've also seen the deck.
So, and there we see Brian knowing what he's come for to grab the shuttle, which will also function as a Kylo puller if need be. And that can be strong, but yeah, he might be trying to bait him into it. He might... I don't think there's any way to react with troopers in First Order.
Not off the top of my head.
So that seems like there's some choices there that I'm not necessarily sure I would have played exactly like that, but I do see, Brian says, okay, I'm getting pinged for one. Well, there goes the ship puller. And is that Decree Virtual? Oh, that's rough. That was not the card Brian wanted to lose. And I don't think he's got any way to get it back. That's one of those times you just feel bad top decking, because, like, looking at Brian's hand, there might not have been anything else he was willing to lose, but that was but when you know there's a one-off of a card that you have to have or you lose,
don't top deck.
That's risky to top deck, especially when he did get to verify. He looked in his deck last turn, so he knew it was in that reserve. Like, lose from your force pile, lose from your hand, lose from somewhere, because losing from there is going to be rough. So Hayes gives up a verify here, and I don't think he's particularly crushed. Like, he lost. There's a battleground site still floating in there. I think it's the 2/2. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I said, I think Brian's trying to bait a trap with that crate site, because if Hayes goes there, now and drops two people, like, if he battles, one of them probably dies, even if he clears Brian's two. And looks like he might only have Obi in hand. And if he only one dies, he has to worry that Brian's now flipped and just goes, all right, here's troopers from Lost, and go nuts. And there's Obi at the site. We'll probably see Han or Leia move over to hang out with him to get the two 2 cards on the assumption Brian will get Kylo down. You don't want to give up that drain if you don't have to. Yeah, Kyle, I mean, if your hand is great, you have to gamble, and I get that. I don't know how great Brian's hand was. Like, he had at least one unsalvageable in there, and I don't know what he's planning to do with that. Like, you can't imagine. That kills an empty ship. But, like, I don't think you're worried about an empty ship. Like,
It's like, if it was a Tauntaun school, then
was it
all the
Tauntaun
extra
Skull
all
instead
the
of
top pilots,
unsalvageable? Okay, yeah, that would. So he's just going for a raw power play, and yeah, if it's Tauntaun Skull instead of unsalvageable, then that changes a little bit, and I think, yeah, it might have been you take the gamble, but like he's got 3 cards in force pile. I don't know what he's thinking of with those. Like, again, what's your, Decree is a game winner, especially if Hayes can get Menace Fades going, because it looks like there may not be a Hossein Prime in Brian's deck, or he hasn't pulled it yet, and I don't think you know, he might be waiting on it, but I don't know. So, and if you save those 3 for an effect puller, like, I mean, he can get non-V Decree, I guess, which is still good, but certainly doesn't feel quite as good. And there we see another slight weapons malfunction. I wonder if Brian's thinking of grabbing that. Yep. It's not so much that he expects Hayes to use it a ton, as that it's definitely a card Hayes is running multiple copies of, and late game in a differential match, just being able to go, all right, let's slight weapons and slight weapons and slight weapons.
Right.
Just during each turn gives him more cards down, and again, this is match play. Differential is a thing, so he's got to play it that way. And Hayes just says go. Looks like he saved 3 or 4 force there, which is enough to, it's a trap out of a battle, even if Brian plays first strike. So putting Kylo down now would stop that Leia drain, which would be good. There we see drains a drain of 1 and looks like a drain of 2 going through, so he just loses 3 off the top, including another slight weapons malfunctions. You can't cancel battles where Han's Blaster is now, but you can still like blast the Door Kid, because that doesn't cancel the battle. That just excludes everyone, and once they're excluded, then the battle ends by rule. So it doesn't cancel it. It would, but he could It's-a-Trap the Leia's battle, and Leia might be the one you go after. Like, especially if you're playing beatdowns, like Leia's more of a target. Yeah, she's got her gun and she draws Destiny if unable to otherwise, but if you go Kylo and then 3 or 4 troopers for 1 each and trooper assault, like, you're still ahead of that battle.
Yeah.
So
Just by a little.
let's see what Brian decides to do here. It looks like, yeah, so he's going finalizer for 8 to Jakku. Oh, going to crate. All right. Like, you can shuttle to and from crate for free, which is nice. So instead he goes to Dakar to save a force. Okay. Probably going to throw PV on there. Yep. So he'll have PV as a pilot. Now that'd make Dakar a drain of 3. So it'll be +1 from finalizer and +1 from the objective. And here we see, looks like we're going to see Hux. So that'll give him another bow pull, and it would mean he could move the finalizer to a system and have the drain of 3 on his own.
Looked like he just kind of snap took another ship.
Yeah, it might have been the Steadfast. Like he knew, you know what you want here. It's to cause damage. You need to get drains going. This is a race, so it's how can I put the minimal amount of cards I need to on table to cause the maximum amount of damage, and what's the calculus there for how much I can cause with what I'm doing. Looks like Brian's got like 7 or 8 force left, and I think he's got to think about putting Kylo down simply to, well, he's got the force retrieval stopped, so he doesn't need to do that. So who's coming down for 3? All right, it's another pilot on the supremacy, probably the captain, full matrix captain or whatever. And there's a trooper down there for 1, which seems reasonable enough. Like, and we see the Brian using the supremacy or moving the supremacy over to crate. So now he's starting to drain a 7. So it's 3, 2, and 2 there. And picking a couple up and recycling. So Hayes played Obi-Wan already. I think he's got Luke and another guy in hand. And I wonder if he's waiting on Luke until Brian puts down Kylo. So there went a ship. That was the Kylo shuttle, so that wasn't the one Brian grabbed. Yeah, I think it might be the Steadfast that was in there. So there's the ping of 2 from Blaster. Pay 3 to drain and shut down the power loss. So I think Brian might need to put out resistance here, because I think that other haze drain would be a drain of 3. So since he doesn't have decree in place, well, it looks like he just ate it, which I don't know. There's not any other shields you're super worried about. I think it's a race. You put down resistance to stay ahead of that drain. You've got 3 battlegrounds. Take advantage of it.
It'll come out now.
What?
Looks like it's coming out now. Yeah.
Okay, so he got the one. He may. I don't know how much Brian's played Rescue to know how much that was gonna hit him. Like, he might not have known that drain was gonna be 3 until it went off. And as gentlemanly as Hayes is, there's no way he was gonna just let Brian have that one back later. So, like, I certainly wouldn't have, and you know, I'm.
Hayes certainly would have, on day 2s, often he will stop and be like, it is your action in this phase. So.
Yeah, but he wouldn't say. He'll say it's your action, but he won't give you any
tell
hints.
You what to do. Yeah.
You know, where definitely in a day 1 or in a game that's, he thinks he's got under control, there are times he's watching that. So there's Luke with his gun going to the 2-2 on the Death Star. I think that's Hayes realizing he doesn't need to kill Kylo. Like, all that Kylo does in that match is to make it so Hayes has to have two guys, and Hayes can do that easily enough, and in fact might be doing that right now as we speak. Yep, Pat, that's exactly what I think he's doing. Is I think he's going to move someone. Well, he's not moving anyone with Han, so he's willing to risk giving up the drain of 1, maybe. Or is he going to move
Looks like
Obi?
He's still thinking about it.
Yeah, it's... Well, so I guess with Luke, you're going to give up one of those spots is not going to be a drain if Kylo comes down, because you have 5 bodies. So there's Obi-Wan over with Luke.
So do you need characters? Oh, okay.
You need 2 characters or 2 permanent pilots or a combination thereof.
Yeah.
So now the one thing, it could be worth moving Han over simply to get the extra ping from a good blaster. Like, even if you give up the drain, Hayes is thinking real hard. So like this is a non-interactive game, but there's a lot of thought that goes into this. This becomes a little bit more of a math game than a Yeah, Kyle, I think that was a long time ago with a different expectation of play. I think if someone was to do that in a tournament now, they would find themselves in a far less welcomed position than most folks are star camping. I think I talk constantly about how engaging and welcoming this community is, and how, if you show up to an event, you are going to have fun, and we will all be happy to see you, and we will make sure you have fun. But I think if you pulled a trick like that now, people would be less interested in playing fun, especially with the revert rule allowing for activation. Like, if you say, I passed on activating, well, you're done. Well, I'm going to revert and change my activation from 0 to a different number. Agreed. Different culture and positive change. We played in that era. I sometimes have to stop myself from considering that era and playing that same way. Like, you spend so much time and treatment in the I'm going to take every edge and I'm not going to let them, I'm not going to not take an edge. As we see, Hayes pulled ultimatum to cap, so Brian drained him for 6. But this is a much better space for the game. I think we're all much happier playing this way. Is Brian thinking of making a run at somebody?
There's the Kylo.
So Trooper Assault's canceled there. He's got Obi and he's got Han. And Hayes says, hold on, take a break. I'm going to Ascension Guns. As we see, Hunchu and the Falcon hit Hayes, or not Hunchu, R2 and Red 5 hit Hayes' lost pile. So he is out of space now. There is no way he's going to be interacting in space. The question is going to be, does Brian realize that? Can he act on that? Like, he threw away the Kylo's shuttle, which I think was a mistake, because I would have thrown Kylo's shuttle on the finalizer, taken the 2 pilots, jumped them onto Kylo's shuttle and flown it over to Jakku, and just left the finalizer naked and said, come try. Because then you at least drain 2, 2, and 2 at each of the systems. So
he still has the steadfast, right?
I think so.
And that would equal the icons.
Yeah, and that might be his play is, I just Kylo shuttle's cheap. That's well, when you got to pay for each of the drains, that starts to add up, and Brian's starting to get a little low on cards in play.
He's a lot down.
He's got a lot of cards in play. There's Applic to go with the that looks like the new Applic foil that we just got for playing yesterday, which, I mean, everybody hears this from me every time, but our graphics team does such amazing work all the time that I cannot speak highly enough of them. So what are we? Is he's gonna Obi here?
He's OBing for a card back from his last pile.
I'm wondering, is he like pitching the Corrin there would make sense, because I guess if you're thinking, well, Corrin, you could have kept Corrin and tried to grab the R2.
Don't see what he took there.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. He didn't realize that striped line is there for a reason, and don't put cards outside that line. But there, it's alter and friendly fire. It's the virtual version, which means Brian's got to have 4 guys there before it fires.
Is it 4?
Yeah. And then he's still got to draw a destiny lower than the number of guys there. So. Alright, so Brian looks like he's starting a battle. There should be a ping here with Snoke. And I think Hayes is just figuring out where to lose it from, because this really is there's a lot of thought that goes into this, figuring out what you do, how you maximize this race. It might not be the most riveting of TV. Like, I apologize, that's me and Barry's job, but it is definitely a riveting figure this out. And now we see 1 for Blast the Door Kid, 2 exclude everyone.
I guess he just pulled back the altar for some sense protection.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Kyle, the difference from the very first VSET, like early on in VSETs and stuff, I used to use my wife's crazy art scissors to cut stuff out so it was like wavy lines and stuff, because I figured if the cards were going to look ugly, I was at least going to make things silly. And now they're so pretty, I use other fancy craft supplies because that's what my wife is, and I'm using a straight line cutter and trying to make it perfect because they just look so good. And looks like Applic's going out of play as Brian, society that's afraid of the outdoors, is facing off against a society with the fear of the indoors. So this would be more interesting if AJ was playing with bombers. Like, just throw it on the Death Star and start blowing things out. I don't even know how that would work. Yeah, I mean, if Han shoots Kylo in control phase, this could get real bad. And I think Brian...
We saw Brian pull
He's got the gig
earlier, right?
Yeah, and I don't think Hayes has a draw their fire, so...
I don't remember.
Like, he blocks the drain. If nothing else, he blocks the drain and he blocks a ping from the blaster. So, like... I don't hate this from Brian. It's just is this rather than Hayes going for the Ascension guns and realizing he won't hit? I think he's got a 3 and a 2 there. Yeah, he took Ezra, and the other card was Hera. Hera would not shoot down Kylo.
It adds a bunch, right?
Oh, you know what? Han adds. That's a close call, I think. That's, all right.
Is Hayes going to follow it up with a sorry about the mess? Yeah.
Brian's like, fine, I guess. And that'll get him. So, but at the same time, he now made Hayes lose 1 more card to make that happen. And in a game that is that close, like, that extra card might matter. And we do see Brian's got a Steadfast in hand, so he is probably planning to just throw a naked Steadfast at Jakku and call it good. He has a lot of troopers to be thrown out there. And we see the pings from Blaster, ping from 3PO, and then we'll see a drain of 2. So I think it's the Tauntaun skull that's in hand. I have no idea what that autograph card was. He's always has sorry. Hayes is not sorry about anything. Not about what he does in the Star Wars. So there went Cardo and Lieutenant Mitaka, Lieutenant Dolph. He's always going to be Lieutenant Tambris to me. So that's... And he's thinking about what else he wants to. He spent 3 so far. Is that going to be Ezra or... Well, Ezra would have cost him 4. Alright. So... Alright, so there's Rey. and go get a used pile pull, which makes sense. And there's the Menace Fades, and that's what's gonna. I mean, that shuts it down. If Brian doesn't have Hosian Prime and a leader to get there, that's.
I imagine we would have seen it by now.
Yeah, there would have been no reason not to put it down just for the drain. Like, I think it's. Yeah, we'll see Han shoot the trooper just for the extra ping.
He's only got the one Destiny left, I think.
That's fine. You shoot the trooper with Han's gun for the ping.
And just take the overflow.
You don't need Battle Destiny. Like, you're overflowing no matter what, so.
Hayes apparently just took the Battle Destiny draw.
Okay. Alright. I guess if you don't know he's got the Gick, you know the Destiny's a 5.
But he knew he had it from the opening turn of the game, right?
Yeah, I guess it's. Oh, the gun doesn't ping anymore? I thought it was the objective that pinged with the gun. It's not Han's gun that adds the ping. I think it's the objective when you hit with the blaster. So that's. Hayes might have decided to just go for the. He just drew Battle Destiny because, in theory, if Brian had been crazy enough to put the Gick back with the Force Push or do something with it, you do more overflow with a 5 Battle Destiny than you do. Oh, the objective ping is once per turn now. All right, thanks, Pat. So, and he pinged when he sorried Kylo. Brian activating all but one. I'm not sure what he's saving the Destiny for. He's not going to get the. He now can't drain and play the Steadfast because he just doesn't have enough force left. So I think he's. I don't know what he's worrying about counting out because there's no. Hayes can't retrieve.
How much does the Steadfast cost?
Steadfast costs 7, so it's 6 with bow. But Brian's only got like 8 or 9 force, so I guess if he's got exactly 9, he could do it, but then he's going to get drained for 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, it's a math question. Like, I think maybe it's worth it, but it's real close. And yeah, I mean, it's not like Hayes can retrieve. I guess you're worried about him dumping cards from hand, maybe, but
if you're drawing up, like, that's just going to happen anyway.
Yeah, that's. Looks like that is what he's
Brian
doing.
is just
Well,
drawing.
I mean, Hayes has 4 cards in hand, so it would have been exactly what he's getting drained for. And yeah, so we're going to see Brian draw up here. We'll get to. And I mean, Hayes can throw 1 down with 3PO. There's nothing he could alter that I see. Yeah, he could have put 1 down with 3PO, and maybe that's what that 1 unused is. So, count it up and see where we're at.
I'll go get you some totals.
Yeah, let's see what they're counting lost piles right now, it looks like. So, we'll be reducing. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. Oh, that was bad. Don't do that again, Garrett. Excuse me. So game 1 results. Game 1 is Hayes plus. Let's see what the count is here. Barry walked over to get us a check real quick while I'm getting stuff ready. I have a sneaking suspicion they're going to take a couple of minute break between games, and we will likely do the same and drop a quick break in here.
You putting the break screen up?
I will in a second. I was going to do it. What was the diff?
Hayes by 20.
By 20? Okay. So perfect. Yep, we're going to go on a break here for a few minutes. They're going to get ready for game 2. So see you guys back in a bit. And welcome back, folks. We got game 2 going on here. I gotta unhide the results. There we go. Game 1, Hayes won by 20. Now we see Hayes with EOPS versus Brian with the Mind Which You Have Learned. Starting, looks like no disintegration. You've got a lot of guts coming here and a good blaster at your side. So Guts is an interesting card. I think it makes it into a lot of these decks. We didn't see it in Chris Kelly's last round, but it makes all your Cloud City Icon Rebels, or your ability 3 Rebels,
right?
are like power and forfeit +1/+2 if on Cloud City. So like they kind of become a little beastie out there.
Yeah, I definitely saw that they were running like Owen and Baru combo.
Which is interesting because Owen and Baru would not be a Destiny 3 Rebel or ability 3 Rebel character. It's a ability 1 and ability 2 because it's a combo card.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure that's how it counts?
There was something.
I don't know why they would play it otherwise.
Well, because it draws if not able to otherwise. Like we were talking about that and ended up going with Jin instead because she definitely qualifies. There was something with Owen and Baru with it being a combo card. They are not considered ability 3. But it's a weird rules interaction, or it was at one point with something. So it's very possible I'm misremembering something. And this is where, chat, I was really counting on you guys to have my back here and jump in right away and, see Mike and Kyle talking about just hearing the kind of ambient noise, making everybody get serious FOMO about not being here. Like that's what I want. Like I want people showing up for live events. It's awesome. This is so much fun. And frankly, this space, Heroes and Games in Columbus, Ohio, if you're out here, come check them out. Come buy some cards. Buy some stuff. Like they gave us this space for free. They're working with us. They're doing everything. They hooked us up with setting up our, thank you, all of our stream stuff. Like these guys are awesome, and it is a spectacular way to spend an afternoon. So, but Pat, like most of them is, so if you look at like Dr. E and Ponda, Dr. E's ability 2, Ponda's a 1, and the combo card is ability 2. So it looks like Barry pulled up something with rulings.
I mean, it just says that the card is both male and female. It doesn't get into the ability situation.
All right, so that could be. It's.
Of course.
We'll find out. I was really, like I said, I was really counting on chat having my back to tell me either I was completely wrong and why, or that in a much rarer circumstance, why I was 100% right. So we see Hayes doing his standard EOPS pull, his Endor Shield, which is going to pull him Ozzel, and Establish Secret Base, which he's going to pull when he deploys Ozzel, and then the site, which he's going to pull with Establish Secret Base. Live play, that's one of the things you do instead of, on GEMP, you have to do each one at a time, and it's kind of a thing. And live play, just to speed things up a smidge, you're like, all right, I'm pulling all these cards, and, I'll tell you why. Like, a lot of those are if you had a bridge puller in there, he might have been like, oh, I don't pull the bridge, I'm going to play the puller in a second. I certainly was doing that yesterday with Rebel Strike Team. Like, all right, I'm pulling this guy with the Scout, then I'm going to play Mishap in a second to pull this Blaster, and then I'm going to play Throw Me Another Charge to pull this, and like...
It's another big advantage for live play is that you don't have to, click 10,000 times to get 3 cards out of your deck.
Agreed. And then accidentally click wrong and feel real dumb. So
I watched some of Hayes' first round with the same matchup objective-wise. He definitely got into some strange board positions, but at one point he had Leia captive on Dooku and, as he said, deposited her into the prison.
That
there
all sounds awesome. Yeah. Like the idea that it worked that way sounds awesome. I mean, Hayes is in a good position, I think. So
I mean, these were all decks he was expecting to face and definitely is ready for the match. I think a key card for him here is that they threw in a set for stun non-combo, so
Yep.
can pull there.
So thank you all to the subscribers as well. I see Nanashi Studios and Jets Are Dim. Thank you guys for subscribing to Prime via Twitch. It is one of those things that it takes zero amount of extra effort, and it absolutely helps support the PC in all of what we're doing with, coming out here and bringing out a setup so we can stream and, bring you this live event and do this stuff. Like, the PC is a fully volunteer organization. We are a 501c3 corporation. If you do feel like donating, and especially, we talked a little bit about the donation boxes, and if you watched yesterday's stream or you want to go back and check it out, those were showcased on there. We saw Luke and Sabine and the large box, and all that stuff happens because of donations from you, the players, and that's why we exist. So thank you all for everything you're doing. Brian dropping Son of Skywalker down and going and fetching Anakin Saber. I'm assuming he's going to throw a Jedi test down at some point, because that's how that works. And there he's going to deploy a test from under patience. Or Hayes is going to do it for him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just on the other side of the table, so it's well within Hayes' reach. So, as opposed to if it was on the other side of the room, when it's only partially within Hayes' reach. It is for this year's donation program, I believe. I know with Jared stepping back a little bit and Mike deciding that being an active and engaged parent was more important than taking care of doing stuff for us, everything got pushed on hold a little bit, which is, we're a small organization with a lot of people who mean very well, but are all also very busy people. And it got pushed back a little bit. We're moving forward with it now. This is, it's good to go. We will be going running forward, and that is all good. See Hayes grabbing the other Endor site, and I think taking a gander at what's in there just to figure out what he wants to do. Brian's just kind of chilling. I mean, Brian's in a position where he knows he needs to win by 20, so he's going to have to play and take some slightly aggressive risks. And I think Hayes also realized that and says, hey, I need to play this a little more slowly. I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? I bet on control phase Hayes went looking for ominous and missed, and then he's like, well, I'll grab my sight. And then it was figuring out what all else was in there and where it went, and that's Brian doing a little sight dance with his hands as he lets Hayes tell him where he wants it put, and then drawing Test Destiny. Does he? Yeah, he's got Yoda's Hope on Yoda, doesn't he? No, he doesn't. Isn't it Yoda's Hope that allows him to draw? Or Yoda's Hope lets him do the draw two and choose one. So he could cancel and redraw that with Yoda if he wants to, and I think he's going to, especially with it being Ezra giving him a spy that Hayes has to at least consider. This could be bad. So his total, he's got a 5, 6, 7. He's adding 8, it looks like. So it's 5 from Son of Skywalker, 1 from Yoda, and 1 for each site, which would be 8. Test 1, you need to crack a 12, so he needs a 5 with that setup. That all math out? Are you trying to remember what the different ones cost to stock?
Yeah. It's pretty much it. Like, I didn't even run into the deck yesterday, so I don't remember what.
Yeah, we played around with it a little bit, and I thought the objective allowed the test in opponent's turn, or what? I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Brian was drawing for there.
Maybe it's just so used to it. Or did they go back and correct it? Because it looked like Robbie got involved.
I'm not sure. It might have been. Robbie might have gotten involved and fixed that because Brian might not have had the Yoda's Hope. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it got shuffled back in, and then it was just a shuffle because you can't give them the knowledge that, hey, you have this on there. All right, so
Looks like the local defense combo.
yep, so it's going to be a pull a wild card. So it was on the announcement and everything with the boxes was part of the Twitch stream yesterday. That will be on YouTube shortly. Dan stayed up here fairly late. I know I went up to bed about midnight and he was still hanging out playing games. And then he's got a drive back to Pittsburgh, which he has made it home safe from, as he's already been harassing me in chat. And so he's got to get them up on YouTube, and he might just be waiting until he has today's games all in, which would make sense. Like, there's no reason to rush it until you have stuff ready to go. We see Hayes.
It's Blizzard 4.
Throwing down Blizzard 4. Probably get Choked Raider out with it.
Yep.
No, that looked like Mara. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see when it. We'll see when Hayes disembarks, whoever he disembarks. And who did he spend 3 for? Is that Forlom? Oh, the Emperor's Shuttle. Okay. So.
He did run into an issue in the last game where he didn't draw Destiny because it was just Ozil piloting the Emperor Shuttle.
I mean, that's still 4 ability.
But you need 6 with test 2.
Test, yeah. So then adding doesn't actually help you. So that might be why we're going to see Mara. Oh no, Mara's not going to pilot it. So
He's just spreading to do damage while he can.
Yeah, and
test
Brian
1
hasn't
isn't
passed
complete
test
yet.
1 yet.
Yeah.
Although he will get another shot at it on his turn. So, and then he can go get Yoda's Hope and go from there. So,
I mean, even if test 1 does pass, it's still 4 for free basically, and then he can reconsolidate.
Yeah, there's no, and he's got some battle.
Probably, I didn't see
have a
what
ton of evasion
admirals
in his
he
deck.
pulled, but like
He's, I think, only pulled 1 because the Endor Shield is just quarter turned.
Okay.
So Hayes,
he
in
still
our
get
games
Thrawn
yesterday,
then.
he was turning.
Yeah.
He did a quarter turn each pull, so because he was doing shield and I was doing strike planning, and so yeah, he can go get Thrawn if he needs to, and Thrawn piloting the shuttle would be fine. That I can't tell if that's the honoring what they fight for or that's a hear me baby.
Looks like a hear me baby.
Hear me baby should pass.
Yeah.
Because that's 10, 12, or it's 5, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep. Woohoo! I'm not as dumb as I think I am. We're going to stick with that. See, I remembered things. And now I think Brian's going to look for another site. I do think you need one more Dagobah site. I think trying to get there with 2 is rough. Like, you've got good Destiny in the deck, but to pass test 2, you'd need a 6. And that's asking a little bit. And whatever Brian was looking for, he missed on the pull. So, and Hayes giving us a good look at Brian's deck. I don't think there's anything shocking about it. Like, nothing I'm like, oh, I'm not expecting that to come into play.
What was Hayes pointing at there?
I don't need their scum either.
Inroads?
Yeah, which could be a.
It was clutch for me in a few games yesterday where Slave 1 was just kind of sitting up there trying to ping, and it's like, no, you won't.
Yeah, like I was playing with my Royal Strike team. I had it in, and there's a couple times where I had it in hand, staring down, but I did not have a space battle all day playing against 4 EOPS with the Rebel Strike team. I had at least 2 games where I had Akbar in home 1 sitting at Endor, and I knew they were potentially sitting on a command or a way to limit me, and they knew I was sitting on a leadership to limit them, and neither of us wanted to risk that battle and lose anything, so we just sort of
face off there,
stared at each other, and we're like, well, I'm blocking your drain, and you're blocking my drain, and we're both draining for free on the ground, and let's see where the rest of this goes. So it was made for an amusing sort of, oh, all right, if nothing else. So Hayes was doing a little counting maybe to see what Brian's going to be activating next turn or what he's going to be activating next turn.
Does look like he has the third Dagobah site there. Just was a bit off screen before.
Okay, yeah, that could be. So then he was passing with a 4. So then the 5 passes the second, which is much more.
I guess he missed the
Reasonable.
Yoda's Hope hole again.
Yeah, that's that having to shuffle on on that Ezra on that draw mistake might end up being a big deal. Like that was you want that Yoda's Hope going. All right, let's see if I get this a little bigger. I'm trying to. Yeah. All right, we didn't miss anything in chat. Chat likes to occasionally refresh here, and we occasionally miss things. So Brian's doing another poll. All right, so Princess Leia with reflection. So he wants to just start his stuff going, which very reasonable. Like, and I think there's Leia's gun, and I think Hayes has to just, okay, I'm going to come after you now with what I can do and go from there. And 5 is okay. There's Ahsoka in front of Mara.
It's a good play.
Yeah, I like that play a lot. Your Mara, Ahsoka's functionally unkillable there. Like she could lose the battle by enough that Brian might choose to lose her and things go real bad, but she can't be swung at. She's immune to less than 5, and Brian's subtracting 3 from that draw. So Hayes is not going to draw an 8. And Battle Destiny is 3, so Brian's power 8 there. Oh, no, he cancels and takes it into hand and instead draws a 4. And Mara draws a 0, so Mara dies. Ahsoka lives. Brian threatens some damage and is fine with that. And Hayes just moves the... interesting, Brian does not have the Speed Test 3 effect out, which would have made it at least a little impactful with that move, because if he got that out, he could just drop Test 3 and pass it. This way, if he wants to pass Test 3, he does actually have to make the draws on his opponent's turn, because Test 3... The reason the Speed Pass effect was made is Test 3 was attempted at the end of your turn when none of your cards have participated in a force drain or a battle, and in this game, how it sits now, that's if you're on Test 3 and you have a turn where you do nothing, you have lost the game. It's not a nice way to say that at all. Like, that's just you've lost and move on. Did I see a Savrip in Brian's hand? Alright, he's losing 3PO and Han's gun to the drain.
3PO is questionable there, right?
Yeah, Han's gun you can get back with something on the objective, and there went Sabine, which is probably not a great loss. The 3PO feels like a bad loss unless he's got more than one. Like, 3PO isn't necessarily... Like, it's causing damage. That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, what you need to do here is cause a bunch of damage. So that's what you're...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13, 15.
So...
Brian's got something like 18 cards on the table already.
Yeah, Brian's going to struggle to win by 21. Like, the upside is the lost piles were relatively close. Okay, someone had a... So there's only a 9-card difference in lost.
Okay.
So... Oh, alright, well, someone just opened a good card in Star Wars Unlimited. So, my packs were not nearly as good as those. And Casey is a little upset let's. Oh, yeah, good point. I gotta change that. Okay. So we're gonna change.
Missing what's going on here, but the commotion behind us makes me feel like the movie Major League, where a guy like covers the mic and is like, "You can't curse on air."
Yeah, there is. Hopefully, what they hear is ambient noise and not Casey being very upset with someone opening a good card. And looks like he's put looks like Thrawn on Slave One just to
Make sure you have enough ability.
make sure you have the ability there. Although you certainly could have just done Fett as well. But he might be wanting to save Fett for a battle somewhere on the ground. Like if he can get that extra destiny with Vader and can do the exchange, like he's got to assume there will probably not be any battles in space. So, and here's Brian doing the.
I didn't see it. What is Brian's space package? Do we know?
He pulled a wild card.
Okay.
So far, that's the only thing we've seen.
Maybe is it Bo's ship?
Might be. Looks like that 5 should pass it for him. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 13, 14. Yeah. 5 will pass it for him. So now that Blizzard 4 is at least potentially at risk. And like I don't think Brian's necessarily going to drain right now with Leo. Oh, it looks like maybe. Oh, he got the good blaster ping. Brian's hand looks like it's a lot of bodies. Not sure I wouldn't still drain for 2 there. Like that's. I've heard 4 strains are good. I've heard they increase your chances of winning if you do them occasionally. So
Rare to win a game without one.
that's kind of what I'm thinking, but Brian's kind of hemming and hawing a little bit on what he wants to do here, and that's not totally unreasonable either. So
I don't know if we saw if Hayes has like the Gick in hand, like if he has the force and the bodies to go after Blizzard 4.
all right, so Brian put down the Senate hand protection shield. I'm not sure what he's getting out of that. Like going at Blizzard 4 is still going to be rough. It's got 13 power and forfeit before you start talking about overflow, and that's not hard to get to necessarily, but it's also not the easiest thing to get to.
But it also takes Hayes off ground, so you'll have to start paying
Oh, I
for the
think
drain.
I would say you put anyone, like I'd be perfectly happy he's got the Owen and Baru. Just here's Owen and Baru in front of the Blizzard 4. Draw Battle Destiny, kill it, move on. Like I'm perfectly comfortable with the take Hayes off ground. And if you draw low enough on Battle Destiny, you can then just lose Owen and Baru, and you don't risk a rebeat anywhere because they are a little. You got to assume Hayes is probably running the Choke Vaders.
Yes.
But like Vader Enforcer would be real bad against Owen and Baru. Like, oh, I'll just cancel your game text, and it is Barry Dan. He's hanging out with me. So, but what happens is you leave, and Casey hangs out with me for a game and says he's never going to do that again. And now Barry's hung out with me for a game and is absolutely questioning what has caused these life choices that he has to sit with me in the state of Ohio. So I don't know who's going to do the third game with me. The third match. You guys are all. You guys are going to get to deal with it. So we see test 3 get deployed by Brian. Now he's going to put Owen and Baru exactly in front of them. And there's the Yoda's Hope on Yoda. I think that might have been the card I thought was Savrip, and Pat thought was Back to Tank, and unfortunately, neither of those are totally unreasonable cards in. Like, I could see a point where they're both in play.
Back to Tank seems very expensive in this deck.
Yeah, in a deck that seems a little force choked, so. Alright, so Brian gets a free retrieval off as Hayes did not pull Secret Plans, and then. What.
He's just fighting.
Oh, it's
to clear
Reflections.
the,
Yeah, no,
the
he's just
blizzard
trying to
point.
kill the Blizzard. Like, basically, it's a don't draw a 0, and maybe don't draw like a 6 where you don't have to take. Alright. So. He can't lose Blizzard now. Or he can't lose Owen and Baru now. Which is fine. Like,
Brian got a verify of the deck earlier, so he knows that it should be a choke baiter, I would think.
Yeah. And I guess he did. I thought he went and got a Hoojix. So. Yeah, Mason, that's. Owen and Baru are a powerful force, and, if you've ever watched the short film Troops, that was one of the first things I ever watched on YouTube before Benji and Apollo and most of the Rosemont kids who are here were born. Baru knows her way around a thermal detonator. And that was, and like, I don't think she's scared of a Blizzard Walker. Like, she seems like a,
As someone in the room pointed out earlier, on the flip side is that it's apparently the only thing a stormtrooper can shoot.
Yeah, Pat, I think B-Fred's probably very close on cards in Life Force. He's, the thing is, Hayes really has done very little damage. Brian has lost, I want to say, 3 total 2 drains, and that's all the damage he's lost. So he's put a decent number of cards on table. He's got a lot of cards in hand, but he may still have approximately 20 force down.
Brian's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think Brian still only has roughly like 20 cards on the table. I don't know how much is in his hand. Like, I would wager that he might still have 30 cards in his deck. It's possible.
He's going to be in that range. And, like, he did just pass Test 2, so now I think he's going to have a draw on Test 3 right away as well. Just waiting until it gets to the right phase in Hayes' turn. So, and now he does have the Yoda's Hope, so he gets the off-turn draw. So now Test 3, I think he needs a 6 to pass it. 5. Oh, Yoda's Hope adds 1, so it might just be a 5. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think you got to crack 14.
Does Luke have a lightsaber on him that would add as well?
He does, but I don't think Anakin's lightsaber adds. Although with the draw 2 and pick 1, Brian did just hit the 5, so he does pass it. So now, and there's Hayes, no escaping back the Walker. That's a choice. All right, so he's using the Walker in front of Ahsoka. Oh, and then another 6. That might be a Vader from hand.
Does he know where his last 7 is? And he's just
I'm
gonna
not
choke?
sure. No, because he just. I think he just shuffled.
Oh, okay, right.
So, like, he doesn't have anything that has been doing tracking. Like, he doesn't have Forlom out at all. He's got there's nothing he's been doing there. So, like, I think it's just Battle Destiny. Yep, so he draws a 2, and Brian draws a 4. So I think, and Brian could even subtract 1 from Domain to make it a 1. So he's at 14, 15, 16, 17 to Brian's 9. So I think Brian might lose Ahsoka anyways. But I don't think he's crushed about that. I think it's more a question of does he Hoojix it? Oh, Domain is suspended, and yeah, the Vader was from hand. Alright, so Domain's suspended unless it's just Luke. Alright, well, that's... So he's just down 2. So he loses 2 plus Ahsoka, and he didn't take that Unitai into hand. So, and he also didn't take whatever the 4 he just drew for. He drew the local defense combo, so there'd be no reason to take that into hand. So I think the next thing is going to be you got to pull Luke here, and he's not getting choked because Domain of Evil is going to exist until he.
So the Leia drain is going to be a 2, is that right?
I believe the Leia drain is 2 plus a ping of 1.
And if he pulls Luke, then it'll be from reserve.
Yeah, and I think if you're going to do that, that's the play, is grab Luke to flip, so the Leia drain comes off the top. And, right now, I would say Brian's in a decent spot. I don't know if he can win by 20.
How much did he just activate?
Enough to do things. I mean, Beefred can theoretically retrieve, yes. Reflection, he retrieves when he starts a battle.
Yeah,
so...
the relative slowness of the Mind What You Have Learned deck, I'm surprised, you don't see, an off the edge in it or something like that.
That was a card I know we talked about and just decided there's too much that goes with it, and the having to spend the force, it's still, it doesn't necessarily activate a ton, and trying to pay 5 to retrieve 5 like that is not a. I believe that's Hayes' legs bouncing on the tablecloth.
Yes.
So that's
Hayes' legs are active legs when he plays.
Hayes' legs are long enough that they're touching the bottom of the tablecloth no matter what, and they're bouncing around as he's thinking. So we see Beefred drops Luke and Padme. Pays 1 to start a battle. I expect he will not. Oh, all right, so he doesn't retrieve. He's gonna swing, take that into hand with Yoda and cause a redraw. So there's a 5. And Hayes is stopping to read it just in case. And 5, so Vader is hit and forfeits 0. So the Destiny Due to Attrition seems immaterial here, but honestly, it might just be Padme covers anything Hayes draws. There's a 4 for Battle Destiny. There's a 4, so yeah, he was still going to have 1 attrition to cover. So Hayes' power 9, 10, 11 to Beefred's.
I think Hayes is
more than 11.
Hayes is 13.
So he's 6 plus a 3 because you Domain of Evil to subtract 1 is a 9.
Can he domain with Padme and Luke in battle?
Unless it is just Luke. All right, so yeah, I think Beefred is fully immune if it. No.
So Hayes is getting power from the system, right?
Yeah, he'd be 6, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, he loses Vader in 1, and it looks like Fred is immune between just subtracting 2 with the subtracting 2 from Yoda, making it so. And Hayes is paying 1 to, looks like probably Masterful Move, to go get his Gick, as he has to worry about that being a thing. And Brian, I think, recirculated before Hayes did his Masterful Move and then said, I want to grab Masterful Move. So now the active judge is resetting Brian's deck for what were the draws and stuff. It should be the 554 was on the top. Yep, and there's so there's the grab of the Masterful, because Brian says, yeah, I'll let you have the Gick, but I don't see a reason to give you a trackable. Does Hayes not have the Gick? Or does he have the Gick in hand? And I guess you go.
Is it the one? It's the one card.
Oh, that'd be brutal. Because, yeah, you definitely did not want to. There's no time you wanted to take that 7. All right, if it's that one card, Hayes is definitely going to have to consider. Brian is making a game out of this. Like, this is. I mean, keeping Hayes off ground entirely, forcing him to pay if he wants to drain, is a solid strategy. Like, if you're forcing him to pay to drain and then you're forcing him to pay to deploy guys and battle and do things, like, none of that is free. And yep, Hayes leaves 3. Yeah, I don't see a Gick. Like, his hand is full of characters. I think he's got to start. Like, you got to go after people, but who do you go after here?
I mean, the first person I think you have to go after is Leia, right? That's like the bad damage source.
The reflection
It's
is definitely
3 and 2 off the reserve, right? So
yeah, reflection is definitely she's a problem. But like you gotta imagine Fred's got a way to keep her okay. And he can still keep her alive by like flipping
like handles or something.
Handles or just like a blast the door kid.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, okay, like I'm fine. And yeah, I think Hayes is deciding if he wants to drain or not. Like he's got a pile of characters. His hand is not bad. It's just he doesn't have a ton. Like he's got 15 or 16-ish down maybe. I'm not sure how much he activated there, but it's not a ton. So if he pays to drain, he's probably just committing to I can play one guy.
Yeah, I don't see Hayes draining here.
No, I think he realizes that
he's gotta do something to change the board state.
Yeah, he can get Leia back by giving up a Jedi test, so he can like give up the test 3 that he's passed, just to take Leia back in hand. Although she would lose the reflection and the gun, which is potentially big. But Brian's got a handful of cards. With Brian having so much art, I can't tell which ones he's got in there. And yep, so Hayes realizes, yeah, Leia's the target. The test on patience does something else.
You have to like flip them upside down when you lose a drain or something like that.
If you don't occupy a battleground when your opponent drains at a battleground or something, you flip them. I don't know. So there's Phantom Menace along with Dooku and Maul and.
Maybe Menace he purposefully wanted the Phantom Menace so that if he loses
and there's
keeping nice.
The keep your eyes open is strong. Yeah, I mean this way he can cycle back the Phantom Menace and at least have a 7 to track since he hasn't gotten the. That looks like it was Jin off the top to get that. So does he have a Force Lightning to try something? Like, yeah.
Hayes is not playing Force Lightning in this build.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I looked at his deck and I don't know. I try not to do that because I like to just, talk about possible lines you have to consider too. Like Dan and I do this a lot and kind of go back and forth when there's deck lists. Like Dan will look at it and know what's going on, and I like to be like, well, I would be surprised. I think
you have to potentially give credit for it. Unless you know. But again, Brian got the verify earlier, so.
Yeah, so he probably knew there wasn't one in there, and that's fine. Like, I think Brian's got to just, like, it looked like Hayes flipped through and he may not be able to kill Leia. Like, I don't think he had a Destiny above 5 in there.
I mean, he should just overpower her.
He should, but Brian will have to, that 2, so Brian's going to cancel and redraw. And there's a 5, so Brian's power 10-ish there to Hayes's 15-ish. Like, there goes Maul, which hits her to 7, and I think
Phantom Menace should go used, right?
Yeah, Phantom Menace should go used as well.
Robbie's got it.
Robbie's on top of that. Robbie, the active judge, thank you very much, doing an awesome job over there. And yeah, Brian is
He's gonna peel some cards.
peeling cards to keep Leia
on the
alive.
table.
Yep. And I'm not.
That's pretty smart right now.
I think it's peeling to keep reflection on table. Like, honestly, I think Leia's of secondary importance. It is keep reflection on table, and that's a
Apparently, he's got plenty of cards in reserve there.
that's a hefty peel. Well, I mean, he's going to get one back at least, because you got to imagine he's going to start a battle against Dooku. You just back up Leia, so you've got forfeit fodder. It's okay. Hayes is a bouncy gentleman, and he is very tall, and these chairs are a little bit short. Like, they're short enough that I'm not nearly as tall as Hayes, and my legs are a little like, all right, my knees are higher than I like them to be. So I'm sure Hayes is kind of bouncing and doing the same thing, because you want to keep your legs moving and stuff. And yeah, he's definitely fidgety in there. We see him landing. Now that he saw Brian get rid of the wild card, he's going to land a couple ships and give himself a battleground to drain at. And oh wow, he moved Dooku away. He said, I want none of that, which again, I think is smart. Like, so
there you go.
So he
Flipping
puts,
test 3. Probably, I'm guessing to go get Han.
I'd imagine, yeah, that's. And
Let's see, is it on patience? I had it up a second ago.
I think it's on patience, or is it the flip side of the objective? Here, you look at patience, I'll look up the.
I have that too. It's the card above it.
Oh, okay.
May place a completed Jedi test, even if suspended, out of play, to take a Cloud City Rebel into hand from Lost Pile.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good.
So now I missed who he took, but
Yeah.
I guess the other options would have been what, Lando or
Yeah,
Chewie?
Lando, if he's running Chewie, I think Chewie with Bowcaster is still just better in the deck. Like, if I was to build it, I'd be running Chewie with Bowcaster.
It was actually kind of a decision for me when I played Prophet yesterday. I almost ran the new Chewie instead of Protector, so.
Yeah, it's. So he. Alright, Hayes has resistance out, so it'd be a drain of 2 at the. This is why you're doing commentary.
Thanks, Dan.
I don't need you here. Dan, I don't need that from you right now.
I thought that was aimed at me. But,
I might have been aimed at both of us, honestly.
Okay.
But, like, hey, I went 5-3 yesterday. I was just, 8 tiebreakers away from being in the top 8. So. Thank you, Chris. You make me feel good, because, yeah, Dan gets corrected a lot. They're going to see another drain of 2 off the top because it's a CC icon. Yep, Dan was correcting me, not you.
Oh.
All right. Doesn't he have to? Thank you, Mason. Somebody's got my back, Dan. Somebody loves me. Where was that? I guess where is that drain of 2 coming from? It might be. Is he paying to drain for 2 with Owen and Baru?
One of the Cloud City sites. Or
Well, he drained for 2 with Leia already.
Yeah. Or not the Cloud City sites. I'm sorry. He's got 2 Endor sites that'll drain for 2. So.
I think he only drained at 1, and I thought it was anywhere with a CC icon, or is it just on CC that the Lost Force has to come from reserve?
I think it's a CC character.
Yeah, when a Cloud City Rebel force drains at a battleground site. So if he drained with Luke, that should have both come off reserve.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So there we see Lando plus, it looks like, is that Saw Gerrera?
It is.
He lost one from hand,
Rebel,
Bobby.
Right?
Yeah, he's an ability 3 Rebel. I think that's perfectly reasonable play. Oh yeah, Baze. Good call, Baze. Also an ability 3 Rebel.
Still an ability 3 Rebel, right?
And battle pays 1 to retrieve 1.
Oh, okay, so it's Lando and Baze. Okay.
Yep. That's perfectly reasonable. Is he going to shoot at? Nope, not even going to bother shooting. There's the 7 for Battle Destiny. It's more, does he crack Dooku's immunity? I don't think he does. He drew a 4, I think. And
20, 15, 16, 17.
Okay. 18, so Brian's
20.
at exactly 20. Hayes looks like he's got 16 down. So I think he might be deciding if he wants to lose Dooku or he wants to peel some.
I would. So like, what's his power there? Baze is what, a 6 with guts. Is that right?
Yeah, I think they're both 6s with guts.
So it's 12 and 4 would be 16.
To
5
Hayes
and
is
7.
like 12. Yeah,
So
like
it'd be like 4.
the difference of 4 might add up. I'm actually wondering a little if he only drew a 4. I'm a little surprised he didn't try and cancel and redraw. But I mean, Dooku's immune to less than 6, isn't he?
I think it's less than 5.
Did he draw 5? It was the new. It was the new interrupt. What we fight for. Yeah, less than 6, less than 8 with a Jedi.
Okay, that's what it is. I knew it bounced up with the Jedi.
Honoring what they fight for is a 5. Okay, so he didn't crack his immunity. Baze covered the forfeit, and now Lando's sitting there alone, which is not ideal for Brian.
Brian still is force active.
No, Brian used his last force to retrieve with that battle. Okay, so Brian is able to 7. He can lose both.
The attrition. Yeah,
he can choose not to reduce.
It is 6, Kyle.
Yeah. He chose not to reduce the attrition with Yoda, so he could lose both of them. So you've got a lot of guts coming here, which is the third effect Brian started. Is all ability 3 rebels are power and forfeit +1, +2 if on Cloud City. Which actually, could he lose them both then? What's Baze's forfeit?
He had 7 attrition, right?
Yeah, but if Baze...
If he just chooses not... Oh, I see what you're saying.
Baze Malbus with cannon is forfeit 5.
+2 would be 7.
Maybe Guts doesn't have to forfeit. Yeah, or power and forfeit +2 if at a Cloud City or Jabba's Palace site.
Are we supposed to go tell?
Yeah, we might want to go grab them real quick because one of them has to live. He could not have killed them both. All right, we sent the active judge over real quick with Guts. Yep, one of them has to live. So, yep, Lando's going to live, and then it looks like we are taking back the drain there.
Good catch there.
Yeah, that's... Usually you can be like, oh, I can forfeit, but he didn't have any battle damage, and the attrition is 7, both of them forfeit for 7. Like... Every mistake I've made has just been redeemed right there. I'm active judging from a small monitor screen. Thank you very much. So...
We all applaud you.
Thank you. Yeah, the power and forfeit +2 is the killer because they were both going to be forfeit 7. And...
Great job.
Thank you, Pat. I appreciate being noticed. So... I don't know what they are figuring out here.
No, they're definitely going back and figuring out like the characters and the losses. Who has to be where?
I mean, it shouldn't... Like, Brian didn't have any force, so...
Yeah, it looks like maybe they've moved Hayes' turn.
What? Okay, so, yeah, Hayes is saying if you have to lose them both, I'm just going to lose Dooku because I don't want to peel 4 just to keep up a drain of 1.
Right.
Although, I think I might have.
I mean, it's a matter of if you need the board presence, but with Fred down to about 20 cards and Hayes is about to do 3 damage,
Yeah,
maybe 2 damage if you know. Oh no, he can't. Hayes is going to do 3 damage.
Yeah, it's 2 at the system and 1 at the docking bay. I think you don't need to keep Dooku. I don't think you need to keep Dooku alive, but at the same time, I don't hate.
It's more
This
off
is
of the reserve deck if you don't though, or if you can't clear Lando later.
Well, yeah. I guess that would be the thing. It's yeah. Yeah. I guess that's the idea. Do you lose Dooku and then you give up the potential drain of one or two off reserve? I don't know.
I mean, I don't think you would lose Dooku if Lando's sitting there by himself.
Yeah. Dooku's not getting overflowed, and he's probably not getting shot. We didn't see any Destiny high enough to shoot him. And
No.
the only real concern would be like a rescue in the clouds that at least gives him a battle destiny, but like we haven't seen any of those from Brian, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Because
Yes.
Lando actually
But you would just capture.
Yeah, he should have had to capture. Hold on. Well, he should have captured Baze. I
I
think.
think it has to be.
Let's integrations. Oh, we're a Cloud City rebel, so Baze did not have to be captured.
Once per opponent's turn.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, Hayes is still just losing 4 to keep Dooku alive. It's just changing what for.
Right.
So, which is reasonable.
So he'll have to capture Lando.
Yeah, but I think he might be.
Which could be funny because do you retreat force for moving Lando into the prison?
So we see Brian putting Test 2 out of play to get Leia back and then losing Leia to a drain, which is a reasonable course of action, although now Test 2 is no longer in play. And Hayes, I think, is activating. He's leaving.
No, you don't retrieve anything for.
Leaving 3 in reserve, which I feel like is a. Yeah, it's Jabba's Palace Dungeon.
Right.
Court
Okay.
thing.
Court would do it. Okay.
Yeah. So, are we going to see him just drop somebody to shoot at Lando? Oh, nope. Shizor in front of Leia to stop the battle destiny.
Doesn't work if he's dead. Oh, but he has
Brian has no force active.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a solid.
And 3PO's not there, so he can't activate one, right?
Correct. He lost the 3PO, so he can't put one down to activate one, and he's got one. Although he could choose to lose Leia and force Shizor to capture her.
Oh, it's only once per,
Yeah.
so it depends where they battle first, right?
Yeah, well, he could choose. I mean, I guess, yeah, it's once per, so.
Looks like they're battling with Lando first.
Yeah. I mean, Lando
maybe?
should take a shot at P-59. He
I
shot
think
at
that's
Lando
what he
first.
did,
Okay.
and he's looking to lose too.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Maybe
did he
he's
hit?
looking left a little.
Oh, yeah, he hit because it was the
He
UR
hit
beaten,
if he
so
was.
it was a 3.
Yeah.
So now it's. Yep, so now Brian's got to lose 2. Like, this is a. Yeah, you're not losing the Hoojers, Brian. Oh. Now he's going below 20. This is going to be tough. I think you got to shoot P-59 back. Like, there's no reason not to. So there's a hit. So P-59 is going to die. And Hayes is like, I would like to read that card real quick because it does things.
What does it do?
I don't remember. I just know it does things.
What is it again?
Honoring what they fight for.
Okay. If a Cloud City Rebel controls a battleground, turn a card stacked on Patience face up, or place a card stacked on Patience out of play to choose If a Cloud City Rebel in battle add a Destiny, or take a character weapon into hand from Lost File.
Okay.
So the Destiny there would have been good.
Yeah. So, and that might be, did he take it into hand with so, all right. So I don't know. He didn't take that into hand with Lando to cause the redraw. So I'm not sure.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, like he's gonna lose Lando. Lando's gonna cover. I mean, Lando's 12, so he's probably not fully covering the battle either, anyways. Like I guess I'm not sure.
Yeah, he has a Hoojix in hand.
Yeah, he has a Hoojix. It's the question is he have an honoring what they fight for to add a battle destiny, so he gets one.
And the answer is yes.
He does. Oh, he's flipping a test to do something.
Lets you
Flip the test on patience back to.
you have to place the card out of play on Patience
Okay.
to do the thing.
Oh, okay. So you can do it a couple times at best. All right. So Battle Destiny is 1, and Brian's is also 1. So at that point, Lando covers. I assume they didn't check the no disintegrations, but it ends up the same way because
it doesn't restore to normal. So
hold on. Hayes would have to forfeit first. Actually, stop them for a second because Hayes has to forfeit first. So he has to capture Dooku. Hold on, Dooku. Yes, go stop them.
No, because he's dead anyway.
Yeah, but if he captures, he doesn't get the choice to release it.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure Dark does.
I didn't think Dark did. I thought it was only Light.
You either can seize or release.
Okay, I thought Light side got the option on release to escape or stand back up. I didn't think Dark side got the choice to seize or release. So
I'm pretty sure. I'm 95% sure. Dark side gets
if Dark side doesn't seize, they have to lose. Yeah, this is. Yeah, I don't think it matters. I think this game is over because Leia's going to die, and it looks like he's Hoojixing the Leia because it was a 7. Yeah, there's no question he still dies, but the thing is, Hayes has to forfeit first, so Hayes has to lose P59 first.
Right.
And then when Brian loses Lando, he has to seize him with Dooku, or he has to lose 2 force.
He is capturing him, but then he just dies.
Okay, Yeah, I
because it doesn't. So like all wrapped up says restore to normal.
Yeah, all wrapped up is its own thing. Yeah, so Dooku sees. Oh yeah, he seizes him, then he dies as the captive. So okay. So he doesn't release him. He seizes him, and he dies. That's the way that works. So Brian's trying to figure out if he can get there. I think it's gonna be tough here. Yeah, the captured card is not restored to normal, so the moment it's captured, if it's hit, it's now lost by rule because the only way hit cards aren't immediately lost is in battle.
Right.
So yeah. All right, so we see the drain of 2 coming off the top. Well, there went that 7. He was happy to. All right, Brian's real close here. Like I think he ends up behind the number, but he's playing it out, and he's gonna 2 more off the top. He's got Hera,
if he's expecting Matt Scott to move on from the teammate angle, like certainly make Hayes like play it out, right?
Yeah. So there, he gets rid of Great Warrior and plays Leia in front of Shizor.
That's what else is in his hand. That
Hera.
seems okay.
So that's the. So you put Hera there. You just saw Hayes lose the 7, so you know he's not drawing that for Battle Destiny. So you play that. You'll get the. I think they're doing a count here, and I don't think Brian's got 20 cards left. He's going to be peeling a couple more, but he's playing it out because there may be some retrieval he's got that we're not seeing. Yeah. So.
Yeah, well, but like if he can, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see what he's got. Let's see how this ends. So he draws the 1.
Redraw it?
Yeah, cancel and
Oh,
redraw.
he can't. He only has 2 cards there.
No,
So
he
it
can
doesn't
do it
matter.
with. Well,
He can, but it doesn't
he can do it with
matter.
Leia too. He could do it with Hera. Chewie's a 1, so.
Oh, okay.
You could do it with Hera and cancel redraw.
Was he drawing 2 Destiny or 1 in that battle?
Just 1.
Just 1. Okay. So
Yeah, because she's not with an Imperial, so she needs to be with 2 Rebels. So you can't cancel and redraw with Yoda anymore because Great Warrior is no longer on table.
Yep. There we go.
And
Hayes peels from the battle to
yeah,
just end the match.
End the match because he's ahead.
There you go. So Hayes is on to the finals.
I believe that's going to be Hayes on to the finals. I'm not sure who is on to the other finals.
It's in the Slack chat.
I didn't see it in there. I didn't actually even see a response about the first game. But in this case, we're going to shut the stream down for... Oh, Matt Scott won. We're going to stop the stream here for a minute to get everything else set up and get going. I'm going to take a quick 5-10 minute break, and we will get, I think the finals going. It looks like we see Matt Scott won, so we'll be here with the finals shortly, guys. Thanks everybody for watching.